Welcome to episode 97 of the Sports Marketing Machine podcast. With TikTok facing a potential ban in the United States, many sports teams are wondering what's next for fan engagement. How can you prepare for a world without TikTok and continue connecting with your audience? I'm going to break down where we are with the ban and some tips for you right now. Welcome to the Sports Marketing Machine podcast, the show that helps those working in sports level up their marketing so you can sell more tickets, sell more merchandise, and grow your fan base. I'm your host, Jeremy Nizer. We're all talking all about today, TikTok and the potential ban, what this means for sport teams, and so much more. All right, let me give you a recap of the ban. TikTok's fate is in question after last Friday's Supreme Court hearing. Last Friday was a few days ago, January 10th. The legal scrutiny surrounding TikTok stems from concerns over data security and privacy, particularly its ties to ByteDance, a company based in China. U.S. lawmakers, security officials argue that the user data from American citizens could potentially be accessed by foreign governments, creating a national security risk. The U.S. Supreme Court on Friday, that's January 10th, that is, heard oral arguments about the law, and they were talking about banning and potentially not banning TikTok. So they heard all about the oral arguments, and that was last Friday. So it could potentially come down sometime over the next week that TikTok has been banned. What does that actually mean for the platform, and what does it mean for your audience and the content that you created? Of course, TikTok denied all these claims and proposed some solutions. Some of the solutions that they proposed were they were going to store U.S. data domestically. So here in the States, they were going to work with partnerships like Oracle to be able to have all of that data stored. However, these measures have yet to satisfy lawmakers. So, what are the possible outcomes? Number one, a complete ban. TikTok could be removed from the App Store in the United States, making it inaccessible to users. I mean, you could still pop into the app after the ban, but they're not going to be updated as these different operating systems update on phones. There will not be any changes. So you could still use it for a short period of time afterwards, but that could be one of the potential outcomes is a complete ban. Another potential outcome could be stricter regulations. TikTok may face limitations such as mandatory data localization or stringent monitoring of its operations by a third party. Basically, someone watching overseeing them, babysitting them to make sure that their data is in one specific spot, not being accessed by someone else. Or the other option could be operational changes in the United States. ByteDance might sell TikTok to a US-based company to comply with the demands and continue operations. So, could someone swoop in at the last minute and buy TikTok? Absolutely. There's lots of billionaires out there that would love to be able to buy TikTok and be able to roll it under their company, their brand, or what have you. So this is those three: complete ban, stricter regulations, or operational changes. Timeline for action. This is the next question that I've got in the last 24 hours from some teams. The timelines for the changes are unclear, but it could happen as early as January 19th. So as of today, recording this January 13th, could be 6 days from now, 1 week. But it could actually happen faster, could actually take a little bit longer. What this does is it creates urgency for teams and brands heavily reliant on TikTok for their marketing to develop contingency plans, shift strategies, which is where this is coming in. So that's all the details about the ban, what's potentially going to happen. Could happen within the next 6 to 7 days. We could see a litany of 3 different options, or maybe even a 4th one that we hadn't thought of. All right, so why does this matter to sports teams? TikTok is one of the top platforms for Gen Z, millennials, those folks 18 to 24 age group. That's a Great audience for folks right out of college, just beginning their careers. You're targeting them about getting them to come to your sporting events, or you're building a fan base with fans potentially even older on there as well. There's 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, families, moms, lots of different folks that you're building audiences of followers on there, and they're engaging with your content. They're watching essentially 30-second commercials of your brand. So it is an absolute wonderful platform to be able to have content on there. And one of the other things that I love about TikTok is the algorithm prioritizes content discovery. So it makes it easier for teams to reach a wider audience organically without needing massive ad budgets. So their algorithm works a little bit differently than Instagram and of course Twitter and Threads and so forth. So you could really create some really great fan engagement, go viral with some content, and I have seen teams do that with TikTok already. So, because of TikTok allowing content to go viral quicker, it actually gives the ability to smaller market teams and niche sports the opportunity to punch a little bit above their weight and gain widespread exposure. So because teams are using TikTok and their broader engagement strategy, this is a great opportunity to kind of use some of that content for interactive content that you would spill over to Instagram or YouTube. So what I mean by that is, if you had a quick sudden loss of TikTok today, you're going to leave, that'll be a gap in your ability to create really quick, authentic fan interactions. Oftentimes what I've seen is teams will post content on TikTok first, see what kind of feedback it has, and then share it on other content. On their content channels like Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. I've seen that happen before, and some teams are just like, you know what, I'm posting it to everywhere, whatever happens, happens. And I can understand both strategies, because one would be a staffing issue, and the other one is, hey, I'm testing things here to see what works and what doesn't. All right, let's talk about some actionable strategies for you today. So, main takeaways here. Here's your strategies. Let's prepare for a world without TikTok. Worst case scenario, TikTok is gone. So, number one, diversify your content. Be sure to repurpose your TikTok content for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. A lot of teams forget YouTube Shorts and Facebook Shorts as great opportunities to be able to post content, and these are the closest competitors in terms of engagement potential. So YouTube Shorts, Facebook Shorts, and Instagram Reels is where you should be posting your video content. Number two, if you have TikTok content that is done okay that you have not shared on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these other different platforms, go online and download those. There's several YouTube videos, and I'll put a link in the show notes of one where you would be able to download your TikTok content without the TikTok branding on there for you to be able to use and publicize and promote on other channels as well. So I'm going to put that link in the show notes for you to be able to download all of your videos without the TikTok branding on there. But the biggest thing, diversify your content, download your content if you need to, and then the third piece is prioritize your owned media. There's something at the end of the day, you should control your email and text messaging. Facebook, if that ends up going away someday, obviously TikTok, if that goes away someday, you had all these followers, you had all this content, great engagement, but if it disappears, what do you have left? Nothing. So this is another reminder. You need to build up the channels that you control, like email and your text message marketing. Always be building up these, because they're not going to go away if a social media channel ends or closes down, or in this case gets banned. So you need to prioritize the media that you own, which is your email list and your text message. All right, 3 main strategies. Diversify your content. Download as much as you can if you would like to. If you need to, download that content, and then prioritize the media that you can control. If you found this episode helpful, please take a moment, share a positive rating or review on Apple or Spotify. It would mean the world to me, but more importantly, it would get this content in front of people who are just like you, people trying to grow their fan base and get more people to their games. Until next time.